Hi, everyone. Hello. It's good to see you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to Pampered Chef Live. I am Michael. I'm your moderator. And where are you joining from tonight? Where are you from? Post in the chat, let us know. And if you are here because a consultant invited you, share an emoji reaction letting us know how you feeling tonight. How's it going for you? We want to know. So we're so glad you're here with us. And during the next 30 minutes or so, we will be joining Claudia from her home kitchen as she teaches us how to make homemade pasta and fresh tomato sauce that rivals any Italian restaurant. And additionally, this evening we'll have 4 featured products available at 20% off for our registered customers. More on that in a little bit. I will announce which products will be discounted after the cooking demo. And then after that, we'll be selecting 3 attendees for giveaways. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to register for the event through Zoom. You can do that on our website, or you can do that through Table. Register through Zoom so you can be eligible for tonight's drawing and the exclusive discount offer code. For the last part of this event, we're going to have a personal Q&A time with Claudia about the recipe, the products she used, as well as some frequently asked questions about her experience as a consultant. This segment is called Discover Pampered Chef, and if you've watched that on Facebook in the past, guess what? You don't have to switch over anymore. That's going to happen here. So it's going to be blended into the Q&A at the end of the event. So stick around for that. Couple final housekeeping notes before we get started. First of all, the recipe for tonight was included in the emails that you will have received from Zoom right before the event. And the same email will go out again after the event, and that's also going to be the email where you will get your exclusive discount code for every registered guest. So you will get to use that code to save on 4 products, and that discount code will be active until Thursday night at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Third, in that email that's going to come after the event, look for there's going to be a survey that pops up at the end of the event. Look for that. And then we're going to be making some changes. We're making changes all the time. Fill out that survey, give us some feedback, and we will be selecting one more winner from that survey every single week for one more additional giveaway. If you have a question that you would like Claudia to answer or us to answer, drop it in the Q&A feature in Zoom. And that's different from the normal chat. Look for where it says Q&A. Our staff will respond to some of the questions in the back end, and then we'll save some questions for Claudia to answer as well. Lastly, if the Zoom chat is getting a little too busy for your liking, you can always mute notifications by clicking into the chat and clicking the arrow at the top to stop showing the chat preview if you just want to focus. And that's what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to just focus. So let's go ahead, grab a beverage if you haven't already, kick back, relax, and let's get cooking. So take it away, Claudia.
Hey, Pampered Chef friends. Hi, my name is Claudia. Let me know where you're joining us from tonight. I am so excited to bring you one of my favorite dishes, which is Italian food. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love Italian food? Let's talk about that in the chat. Okay, I want to see all the comments blow up. And if you know, right, groceries are getting a little bit more expensive, but going out to eat is way expensive these days. So I want to bring Italian food to your house, from my house to your house, and help you save some money, because pasta really at its core is so cheap and budget friendly to make at home. And I want to help you make that at home and not pay $20 for a plate of pasta, maybe at your local Italian restaurant. Okay. So are you ready to come cook with me? We're going to make homemade pasta with a homemade fresh tomato sauce, the most simplest Italian ingredients, and I can't wait to share it with you. So for those of you guys that are, let me know in the comments if this is your first Pampered Chef Live, or if you are an experienced customer that comes every single week, right? We have so many amazing recipes for you. So I started Pampered Chef about 14 years ago. I know, right? Crazy, in 2010. And I had just moved from Europe to the US, and my neighbor invited me to a Pampered Chef in-home party. Do you remember those days? Who remembers the in-home party days? Yes, we still do them. Yes, we still love them. Put it in the chat. Have you ever been to an in-home demo? Now we're bringing the demo to you, but we love our in-home parties. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was just looking for something to do while I was staying home with my babies. And Pampered Chef filled that need for me back then, and we're still here 14 years later. So let's get cooking. We'll talk more about me and the Pampered Chef opportunity later, but let's go ahead and start cooking, all right? So here, we're gonna start with our tomato sauce. Now, when it comes to making your own sauce, it's really so easy rather than going for the jarred pre-mixed marinara sauce or something like that. It's very, very simple. Please don't let it scare you away. All right, so we're gonna start by roasting our tomatoes, all right? So I have two containers of those grape tomatoes. If you have any tomatoes from your garden, even bigger tomatoes, smaller tomatoes, doesn't matter, okay? Any tomatoes will work, about maybe like 4 cups or so, okay? A little bit more, a little bit less. And then we're gonna add some very basic ingredients. We're gonna use our oil and vinegar dispenser, all right? Here's the close-up. And what you do is you just press this button and it will fill the top with olive oil, okay? A little tip when it comes to buying good olive oil, make sure it's in a dark green glass bottle. It should never be in like a light plastic bottle. And then you have nice green, thick color, okay? We are not using a lot of ingredients here, so we wanna make sure that the ingredients that we are using are very flavorful and very tasty. And if you're on some kind of like, diet or something like that, and you need to measure your tablespoon of oil, because we don't want to just drench everything in oil. This is great because it has measuring stuff right here, right? And I always have one for olive oil, and then I have one for balsamic vinegar, and it makes the perfect little like salad dressing right at your dinner table and makes it look pretty as well. Then we're gonna, of course, add our seasoning. So just using our salt and pepper grinders right here. Very basic ingredients again, and put that on here. And then, of course, what do you think is the number one like Italian thing that we need? Any guesses that's missing here? What is this thing? Who knows, right? Fresh garlic. And no, my friends, we're not going to use minced garlic in the jar, okay? Fresh garlic tastes so much better, especially, like I said, if we're only using a couple of ingredients. So we're going to use our new garlic tool right here. It chops, like it dices, and it also slices your garlic, all right? And I think it looks like a little washing machine, all right? I call it my little garlic washing machine, but it's not, but it doesn't look like it. I think it's like the cutest little gadget ever. So if you love gadgets, you're definitely at the right place, right? So I already peeled some garlic here. We need about 6 cloves of garlic, but I left a couple pieces to show you that this little tool comes with a garlic peeler. Now, make sure this is not wet, like you rinsed it off or something, because it creates this stickiness and it helps peel your garlic. And you will hear it. You will hear. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me know in the comments. But it peels your garlic, right? You don't have to get your fingers all sticky. And look at that. Or you can just drop it. But you saw it, right? It was nice and peeled. So you can do this and prep a bunch of garlic ahead of time. You can certainly do that, but it doesn't take long. Let's try this again. Take 2 without throwing it on the floor, Claudia. That would be nice. You can see you don't have to get your hands all gross and sticky. Again, just make sure this part is not wet, or you rinse it off, or the skin will not stick. Voila! Look at this magic, right? And then we are going to slice garlic. So do you know what the difference is between pressing garlic and like slicing garlic, depending on your recipe? Who knows the difference? When do we slice and when do we press garlic? Who knows? And then, by the way, this thing, once it's all cleaned up, I just store it right in here with my little cleaning piece, and it's nice and compact. So if you didn't know the difference, if you want a strong flavor of garlic, like a lot, then you would go ahead and use our garlic press. Here, we just want like a little hint. We don't want to like overpower this with too much garlic, so we are going to slice it. Now, this little guy has 2 different sides, okay? So this is the side that we're going to use today, which is our slicer right here. But if you wanted it diced, we also have that option right here, and you could use that side. So depending on which way you're going, right, the opening has to be at the top. How do I know this? Because I've done it the upside down way before. That's how we learn, by making mistakes. So we're just going to put our garlic right in here. We're just going to press down and get us our sliced garlic. pretty easy. Your kids can use it. My little garlic washing machine. Okay, that's what I call it. It's just really cute. So you can prep your garlic for the week. You can store it in your fridge. You can also, if you mince garlic in here, you can also take some of that olive oil and put it in a little glass prep bowl and just store your garlic like that in the fridge for like, the week or whatever. And you always have fresh garlic ready to go. All right, we got all of it in there. Yep, we're good to go. So let me show you a close up here. So pretty, my little thing. Look at that. Do you guys see it? All right. So you can slice it or you can have little cubes, and we're just going to add this in here as well. And that is it as far as the most basic ingredients that are going to go in this sauce. All right. Does this scream Italian? Or what, right? A little bit of mozzarella and a piece of bread and we're good to go. No, we're not doing that today. So we're going to mix this up. And by the way, let's talk about these scrapers. How many of you guys have our mixing scrapers? I'm going to give you a secret here about our mixing scrapers. First of all, they're awesome because you can cook with them. But did you know that your mixing scraper, let's see who knows this, right? I learned this at cooking shows years ago, that your mixing scraper back here has a birthday, okay? So it points to a month and then it has a year. So mine is from February 2017, okay? It's quite old, you see, but look, it looks just like perfectly new. So these scrapers are amazing. They last you a long, long time. All right, here we go. We got all this mixed up. Right, like I said, you can use any tomatoes. If you have like tomatoes in your vegetable drawer that you thought you were going to make a salad, but you didn't. It's a great way to use up some tomatoes that may be a little bit shrivelly already. All right, and then we're going to use our new Brilliance line. All right, how many of you guys have snacked our Brilliance line already? Look at this gorgeous like blue color. And when I tell you guys, okay, the nonstick on this, I don't know. It's on another level, okay? It is on another level. I just made some lasagna and I made a cornbread dish and everything just slides right out of this line. So check it out online. The 6-piece bakeware set is amazing. So it does have a rack. We're not using the rack today, but if you were to make some oven fried chicken, bacon, something like that, this rack is oven safe. So you can put this in your oven as well, but we're not using that today, okay? So we're gonna get rid of that over here. And then we're just going to put our tomatoes right on here. If you do have a pan that maybe sticks a little more than this one, that you may wanna use some aluminum foil on the bottom of this. And you know what I love about these scrapers? Well, some people may love it. Your kids may not. It gets rid of all the cookie dough. There's literally nothing to lick your fingers on and stuff like that. So it gets rid of everything in this bowl. So you may have to leave some for some finger licking. All right, so we're going to spread this on here. And then this is gonna go in the oven for about 14, 16 minutes until the tomatoes start popping. That's what we want. You're gonna hear the sizzling and the popping, right? You're gonna hear all of that. And how easy is that? That's literally your tomato sauce, and I'll tell you what we're gonna do with that afterwards. By the way, this is an oldie and goodie. How many of you guys have our classic batter bowls? You may have one that's a little bit more rounded. They changed the shape of it years ago, but these glass bowls come with lids. Guys, you can make your pancake mix, store it, make your chicken salad, whatever you want, but I love that this one has a lid. That's like an OG Pampered Chef product, isn't it? Who has one of these? And then we have a small one as well. So we are going to pretend I'm putting this in the oven because I already have another one ready for you. But before we continue with our sauce, I'm going to show you how to make fresh pasta. I think that's the highlight for tonight, right? How many of you guys have ever made homemade pasta at home? Put it in the chat. Have you ever tried it? Yes, no. I think it's very simple. Don't let it intimidate you. All right. So I already made the dough ahead of time and I just covered it with a little bit with just a cloth. You can put it in saran wrap, whatever works for you. Okay, you can put it in saran wrap and put it in the fridge and store it overnight if you wanted to make it the night before, because maybe you have company coming over and you just want to like wow them, right? And elevate your dinner experience here a little bit. So I already have some right here. I already cooked some. So this is my last quarter, right? So I had 4 quarters of this. And let me tell you the most basic recipe for pasta, okay? So you basically have 3 basic recipes. Now, I do recommend, if you can, to get a kitchen scale, right? Our fabulous kitchen scale here. And then you can do pounds, you can do grams. But when it comes to baking, we do use a lot of grams. So 100 grams of flour per 1 egg, 1 egg per person. So if you're feeding 4 people, about 400 grams of flour and 4 eggs. I always do a little bit less flour because each egg, depending on the size, right, could use less or more. So, and then I'll just add a little bit more. So that is the most basic pasta recipe, flour and eggs, right? If you want a more eggy dough, like maybe you want like raviolis or tortellinis or something like that, then you can even eliminate the egg white, right? You get more of like the eggy, softer, creamier dough. So you could just do egg yolk and you can just do flour. Let's say you don't have eggs. Maybe you're vegetarian or vegan, or, right? Maybe you're vegan, right? If you don't have eggs, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to make pasta, but I ran out of eggs. You can literally just use flour and water until it becomes a nice dough, and that'll work too. But that'll give you a pasta that has more of a bite to it. It won't be nice and soft like the fresh pasta that you're used to, but you can do that as well. Unbleached all-purpose flour works just fine. If you can get your hands on 00 flour, depending on where you live, that kind of takes your pasta a little bit to the next level, all right? If you wanted to do just pasta and water, you could do semolina flour, but literally the most basic thing is just regular flour, regular eggs, keep it simple, right? We're all about easy dinner, nothing gets complicated. So anyway, so I already made my dough in here earlier, and I used the hook attachment to our deluxe stand mixer. Makes it super easy. You can, knead it by hand if you want to. So yeah, you guys ready to talk about the new pasta attachment? How many of you guys, let me know in the chat, how many of you guys actually have the deluxe stand mixer already in your kitchen? Isn't that amazing? It's like the best thing ever. So little did we all know that, at least I didn't know, that this comes off, all right, and it's built for attachment. So who knows what Pampered Chef is going to come out with in the future. But right now, this fall season, just a couple days ago, right, September 1st, we launched our pasta attachments for our stand mixer. So we have a roller, which is what we're going to use first, and then we have 2 different types of shapes. We can make fettuccine, or we can make wrong one. We can make spaghetti, right? Or we can make fettuccine. Those are your 2 options. Or we can make sheets, which is where it all starts out with. And here's what's really cool, is that these open up, right? So you can go in there and you can clean them. They open up. They come with like a key. So you can insert the key in here, right? Because you're cleaning them and you're washing them, and you can spin this. You can spin this and get it all nice and clean. Now, I happen to have had another brand of a pasta attachment that did not open. So now I'm questioning myself and wondering how clean that thing actually is on the inside. So yeah, I am happy that this opens up and I can get it nice and clean. So you just kind of hook it on there, super easy. We're going to turn the button on. And then when you're making fresh pasta, you can't have enough flour. Okay, so I love our flour and sugar shaker. What other things do you guys put in your flour and sugar shaker? I think I have 3 total in my kitchen that are always filled at any given time. So what else could you put in here? Let me know in the comments. But you want to have that handy dandy because it's so much easier than your fingers and a clump of flour. So like I said, I had 4 of these pieces. I already made some. I'll show you the results here in a second. But you just want to press it down a little bit, and then you can use our baker's roller, okay? It's got like a larger size and a smaller size. I love this way better than a big rolling pin because I feel like I have more control of where I want my dough to go, okay? So we're just going to flatten this out just a little bit, just enough to get in here. All right, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. All right, and then we're going to turn this on. I'm not sure how the sound is going to go, but I'll try to talk through it. But this has 3 settings, so you always want to start on number 3 at least twice, number 2 twice, and then number 1 is your thinnest setting. So we are going to turn this on, and we're just going to leave it on custom speed number 1. There we go. And we're just going to put this through. Okay, I try to pinch the bottom a little bit just to help it get in there. And this is very, very satisfying here. Another tip too, as you're making the pasta, if it comes out too dry, just add a little bit of lukewarm water, right? Until you get that dough consistency that you're looking for. All right, so we went through twice on setting number 3. Now we're going to switch to setting number 2. Gonna add a little bit more flour because we don't want nothing to stick here. Now we're going through with setting number 2. Right. All right, so while we're rolling out this pasta, tell me in the comments, what's your favorite pasta sauce? Are you red? Are you team red or are you team white? Or anything else? All right, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. And then one more, which is the thinnest size here. So you kind of pull it out and then twist it, okay? This is the size that you want for your tagliatelle or your spaghetti. You can also cut this in half if it's getting too long. All right, we'll go through it one more time. Our final one here. You guys ready? Look how huge this is. Little bit of flour and 1 egg per person. Did you believe that that little thing was going to turn into this giant sheet of pasta? Probably not, right? All right, so I'm going to turn that off for a second, and then I'm going to use our bench scraper just to kind of cut it in about half. And then we're going to switch to spaghetti, okay? So again, you just untwist this right here, and it comes right off. This pops open, and you can easily clean it with our dual-sided cleaning brushes. But just remember, you have to start every shape of pasta by rolling it into a sheet first. We cannot go straight to shapes. It's not going to work, okay? You're going to have some really clumpy, thick shapes there. All right, so here we go. We are going to make some spaghetti. So at this time, you would start boiling your water. Always salt your water, right? Don't skimp on your salt here. Take it from the Italian. And same thing, okay? So we are going to, oh, hang on 1 second. Okay, technical issues here. All right, so we are going to now turn this into spaghetti. You guys ready? Who's ready? This is the most satisfying piece of this journey. All right, you guys see that? Ooh. Look at that. Let's try not to drop it. Isn't it awesome? So cool. So you can make this little nest. And our final one. Look at that. Amazing. You guys just did that. You're going to do that in your home and you're going to feel just like an Italian. If you're going to have this sitting out for a minute, Always add a little bit of flour so nothing sticks together, okay? All right, so I'm going to switch equipment here for a second. So while I do that, I want to hear from you. Do you feel equipped to make pasta at home? Was this simple enough? Do you think you can do it? I think you can do it. What do you think? All right. I think a lot of people feel equipped to make their own homemade pasta. I'm so excited. Make sure you let your consultant know and send them pictures when it comes to the amazing pasta dish that you created, okay? So no more paying $20 a plate at your local Italian restaurant. Before you know it, you'll be making homemade bread, garlic bread, right? And you'll be all kinds of Italian, all right? So let's move on to our sauce. Let me move this pasta maybe over here so we have room. So remember, heavy, go a little heavy on your salt, boiling water, and then fresh pasta only takes like 3 to 5 minutes to cook. It does not take 8 to 11 minutes like regular pasta, right? Because it's soft, it's never been dry. So just a couple minutes, don't overcook it. All right, you guys ready for the magic of TV? This is like the Food Network here tonight. All right, magic of TV. Wow, look at us. We just roasted these beautiful tomatoes and garlic. Look how awesome we are. All right, now we're going to process this. And I'm so excited. How many of you guys have seen our Twist and Chop? It's the new hottest electric item at Pampered Chef, and it's the perfect size. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's nice and compact, okay? So we are going to use this to make our tomato sauce. So let me show you how this guy comes apart, and it has a blade. And the cool thing about this blade, I've never seen such a thing. Actually, it bounces up and down. So my husband was looking for this when I wasn't home, and he said, "Where's the bouncy blend?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? What is the bouncy blender?" He's like, "That new thing." So yeah, so you can call it the bouncy blender if you want, thanks to my husband. So we're going to scoop in all these tomatoes. All right, and you can see that nothing sticks to this pan, just like we talked about earlier, okay? We want all these juices. That's what we want to get it in here. And then I'm going to use our scoop tool right here. And we're going to make our own pasta sauce. You can certainly make this the night before, right? You can make this on a Sunday when you're doing your meal prep. But by the time the pasta cooks and the water boils, your tomatoes have been roasted. And if you wanted to hide in more veggies, right? How many of you guys have kids? Tell me in the comments, how old are your kids and are they picky or not? Okay, so I'm a mom of a 12 and a 14-year-old, and I'm always looking to sneak in veggies, okay? So you could literally puree some zucchinis in there, some carrots. Nobody's gonna know, okay? You could certainly do all those things. You could hide some cottage cheese for extra protein. You get the point, right? The cool thing about tomato sauce is you can hide a lot of things, all right? So we're going to puree this, but we're going to add one more final ingredient here. Any guesses? It's green. Oh, my hands are sticky. Oily. Any ideas for our final ingredients? What do you think it's gonna be? It may just be on the table. There we go. All right, and just like any mixer blender that you have, if it's not put together all the way, it will not turn on. So once you know that you put it together, you will see, by the way, did you hear that? It like sticks, right? You will see these blue lights. You see that? That will come on. And you have two options. You can turn it on and it just goes and then you turn it off, or you can pulse it. And the first time I used it, I was like, whoa, okay, so there's no button, you just kind of slide over it. All right, so we're gonna turn it on and let it puree. I forgot the final ingredient that I just told you about, right? Well, let's go add it right now. So who guessed it? Fresh basil, okay? So we just have some tomatoes, some garlic, some olive oil. So, about a quarter cup or so, or fresh basil, more. Listen, if you have basil growing in your yard, use this to make your own pesto. Add more basil for more flavor, right? It's as simple as that. That's it, right? It doesn't take that much time. So let's assemble it and add a final ingredient. So here's our homemade spaghetti. Does this look like it came from a restaurant or what, right? How it just, I'm like, it looks like I didn't even do this. It looks fake, but I did. So we are going to add this tomato sauce. This also can be used in the summer like a pasta salad. Just add a little bit more olive oil. You can add some chopped, mozzarella, whatever you want to add, but you can also certainly turn this into a pasta salad. By the way, it has a little hole in here, so if you're making pesto, you want to add olive oil or any liquid, you can run it through that after your basil and stuff has been incorporated. And yes, all the pieces of this, except the base, of course, are dishwasher safe. And boy, oh boy, do we love dishwasher safe products, right? All right, here you have it. Let's do a little close up. See, no chunks. Looks good. Who wants to come over? Buonissimo. Smells so good. Okay, you can definitely smell the like roasted garlic. Has a little different flavor when you roast it in your oven first. All right, so we're gonna get it all out with our handy dandy scraper. There we go. And mix it up, and then we're gonna add our final ingredient. By the way, I love our pasta tongs, okay? They're like my only tongs I use when it comes to making spaghetti, fettuccine, anything like that, because they have like these little waves, right? I don't know if I can do a close-up without making a mess, but let's see, right? They have these little like waves, so it's super easy to grab. Look at this. I can grab like almost this whole bowl of spaghetti. All right. And the cool thing about our tongs, any of our tongs, large tongs, chef tongs, small tongs, pasta tongs, is they lock on the way up and they unlock on the way down. Okay, so once they're locked, they're not going to pop open in your drawer. How many of you guys, you know what I'm talking about? Where you open the drawer and the tongs are like stuck upside down. We're going to eliminate that problem by using the Pampered Chef tongs. Okay. All right. So here is our final result. We're going to give it one finishing touch. I wish you guys could smell it because you can hear, you can smell the taste of this. All right. Our final touch and our final product for the night that I'm going to show you is our new cub zester. All right. It's this little guy right here. It's our new cub zester. But instead of using this just for your lemon zest, your nutmeg, your lime zest, your orange zest, which hopefully you will use a lot of that, right, this holiday season when it comes to baking, we are going to use it for Parmesan cheese, okay? So I love these containers that Pampered Chef has. They have little like holes on right here on the top. And I know that most people use this for fruits and veggies. These are my cheese boxes, okay? Especially when you're buying any Parmesan or Romano or anything like that, because it'll keep your cheese nice and dry at the right temperature. It won't mold. Like, it's just the best for a Parmesan because you want to store your Parmesan cheese in a dry, cold place, all right? You don't want to keep it in saran wrap. So we're going to use just a little bit of Parmesan cheese here. You just remove the lid. And the cool thing about the zester is you can go anyway, okay? So you can go up or down, you can go left or right, or you can just go in a circle and grate your cheese. And guys, let me tell you, there's nothing better than fresh Parmesan cheese grated and, finishing touches on your pasta. Just buy the real deal, right? I know it's more expensive, but you can literally cut it up in little blocks like this and then put it in your freezer and just store it. And if you're making pasta that night, just take it out and it'll thaw in like 20 minutes. And that way you're not wasting that precious Parmesan cheese, okay? So here we go. All right, and then I'll show you a trick to this. Whoops. Oh, I opened it upside down. I'll put the lid on. Show you the other side here. So Nope, not that way either. I'm trying to show you the little thing on the inside. Okay, I can't figure it out. So you see this little thing? So if I was zesting a lemon, this will scrape the top so you don't have any leftovers, right? So it'll scrape everything. So you go like this and it'll scrape all that lemon zest as well. And then you can actually even store it in here. Super easy. You could just leave this at the table. And there we have it, my friends. Buon appetito. We just made pasta with homemade tomato sauce. I can't wait to watch you guys make your own pasta. Maybe have some fun with the kids, the grandkids, your husband, some friends. And you can have a pasta night at your house at a fraction of the cost and going out for Italian. All right. So thanks for joining me tonight. I can't wait to watch you guys all make pasta and tag your fabulous consultant and fill your bellies with some delicious pasta. So back to you, Michael.
Okay, wow, I am blown away. Thank you, Claudia. I have always been pretty intimidated by making pasta, and you have really like shown us and with so much skill how to do it. And think I'm gonna need to rewatch this video a few times just to remember all those details. So thank you so much from that. So we're gonna hear from Claudia a little bit more in just a little bit, but before that, as promised, let's find out which products will be available for 20% off with your discount code. And this code will be coming to every registered attendee's email. You may want to write these down or even take a screenshot, okay? Just so that you can remember which ones it is. So the products that are going to be available for 20% off with your discount code are the powdered sugar shaker, the garlic prep tool, the oil and vinegar dispenser, and the tongs set. So all of these Claudia showed us tonight, so you got a chance to see how these work. You will be getting your email and you will be able to place an order. So these deals are just for customers who registered through Zoom and will only be available until this Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Each code is unique and can only be used once. So this is your time. You can get on it. Talk to your consultant to learn more about any of these products, customers, and we'll see you go from there. So speaking of sales, there's one more I want to mention real briefly, and that is that our Taste Buds subscriptions are currently on sale for 25% off this month. This is a great way to sample new flavors and gain access to exclusive recipes and seasonings that you cannot get anywhere else, including elsewhere on Pampered Chef. You can only get these through Taste Buds. So use the code SEP24TB at checkout to get this discounted rate on 3-month and 6-month subscriptions. Okay. And now it is giveaway time, my friends. And tonight's giveaway is our give back set. And for every one of these sets that we sell, we donate 10 meals to Feeding America or 2 meals to Food Banks Canada, which is the monetary equivalent. We are giving away 3 of these sets tonight. All right. So tonight's winners are, let's see and find out who is our lucky winners tonight. Winner number 1 is Ellie Brandell. Winner number 2, Jean Marie Howard. And number 3, Katie Shaw. Congratulations, Ellie, Jean Marie, and Katie. You are our winners. I will be in touch with you after this to get your shipping information. Okay. Now, Claudia, we're going to have you come back on in a second when you're ready, and we're going to transition into our Q&A. If you're still holding on to a question, now is your last chance to drop it in the Q&A feature in Zoom. We'll do our best to get to it, and we're going to tee up as many questions as we can here. And we'll start with a few questions from all of you, and then we'll transition into our time to hear a little bit more from Claudia about her experience as a consultant, what she does on any given day, and that's our Discover Pampered Chef segment. So that's going to come at the end. So let me just look at our questions here and catch them up, and a few of them are still coming in. Okay, so Claudia, we'll start off with one that's hopefully pretty easy. What is your favorite kind of olive oil to cook with? You know, brand or type? Do you tend to cook more with extra virgin, or what's your favorite type of olive oil?
Yeah, so when it comes to olive oil, if you can go to your grocery store and make sure it's in a glass bottle, it's a dark bottle. And then when you look at the ingredients, ideally it comes from like Italy or Greece or Turkey, but not like from 5,000 countries all at once. And that the only ingredient is extra virgin olive oil. And once you get used to that and you get hooked to that, you make your salad dressing with it. You put it on a little bit of steak after your steak's cooked, like you can taste the difference. If your olive oil does not taste like olive oil, it's not the right olive oil.
I love that. Have you ever used prosciutto in your sauce?
Yeah, you can use prosciutto. I mean, it's if you get it sliced very thinly, you can use it as your quote unquote bacon or pancetta or like your meat. So like we could have totally with this sauce, we could have just fried up a couple pieces of pancetta or prosciutto or something like that, and then added that to it as well. Would have been delicious too. So yeah, you absolutely, and that's really the cool thing about this recipe. It's like a base. It's like a cheese pizza, right? And you can do whatever you want with it on top of that. And that's why I actually love Pampered Chef recipes, because it's so easy to be like, you know what, let me add a little bit of that, a little bit of that. So yeah, have some fun with it.
Love it. Another question about sauce. Can you
Okay.
use thawed frozen tomatoes in the sauce?
Absolutely, of course.
Love it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay, can you talk a little, just again, what attachments exactly come with, so do these attachments come with the stand mixer on their own? Is this a separate purchase? And in your experience, how do they compare to other pasta makers or stand mixers on the market?
Yeah, so you can buy them separately. Don't quote me if there's a set. Maybe Michael can answer that. I'm not 100% sure on that. But you get all three pieces that I showed you tonight. So you get the fettuccine, the spaghetti, and the roller. I did have a different brand before this. And I will say that, first of all, it's lighter. Okay. So if you have a different brand and it's like metal or whatever, that brand is really heavy. And like I said, I love that you can slide this open and you can use the key and get all in it. So I just feel like being able to clean it, it's a lot easier, it's a lot lighter. That's what I would, compare it to for sure.
Okay, great. Thank you. A couple more questions.
Sure.
Lots still coming in, so I don't think we're going to be able to get to them all, but
And
we'll
Michael,
try.
this is Jackie. Really quick before you transition, I do need you to show those products that are on sale one last time.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Okay, let's show them one more time, and then a couple more questions for you. So let me go back in my slides real quick, and then I will show you.
Yeah, and put in the chat, which of these products do you think you're going to get or you're going to add to your kitchen?
Okay, so here we go. So the one here is discounts again. So once more, we saw the powdered sugar shaker for the flour, the garlic prep tool for the garlic. Loved how you talked about different strengths of garlic, the oil and vinegar dispenser, and the tong set. So these will be 20% off, and we put the code numbers in there too, so you can make sure you get the exact right one. All right. Now, a couple last questions, and then we'll wrap up, just in case there's anything else that some of you might be trying to watch later tonight. So I don't know what that could be. A few different people asked, do you have to let the spaghetti noodles dry before cooking it?
No, no, not at all. So you see, right? Sometimes you may watch videos and people put them on a drying rack. You can, right? You'll get a firmer texture, but you literally could just make it. You can rest it for 30 minutes, but even if you didn't, because maybe you're out of time, it's totally fine.
Love it. Good. And by the way, I'm seeing in the chat people saying, where's the discount code? It will come in your email after the event. So stay tuned. It'll be there in a little while. Okay, so let's see. I think we got time for one more question here. And what's the best way to store extra uncooked pasta if you make a big batch?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to eat it within a couple of days, I would put it in the fridge. If it's uncooked, not cooked. Okay, so if it's uncooked, yes, you can put it in the fridge for an extra couple days. But you can actually freeze it as well. And then when you're ready, just take it out and throw it right in the water. So you could make bigger batches, different shapes, different sizes, and stock up your freezer too.
Love it. All right, so we got 3 more questions. Thank you for answering those. And we're going to transition a little bit now to just talk a little bit more about Pampered Chef. And this is our Discover Pampered Chef segment that used to happen on Facebook. It's right here for you. So we're going to go in a little bit deeper. And, Pampered Chef comes with lots of benefits besides just income and besides access to great products. There's many ways to approach and experience this business. And you mentioned in the beginning that you got into Pampered Chef 14 years ago. Is that what you said? So, what are over 14 years of doing this? What are some of the benefits and perks of Pampered Chef that you have enjoyed and loved the most over the years?
The list is a mile long. Besides the obvious, the extra income, definitely the friendships and the connections. So, I did immigrate from Europe, so I didn't know a lot of people. So, Pampered Chef has really helped me expand my network, friendships. Sometimes it kind of forced me a little bit out of my shell. So, the friendships, the community, the travel, and even just the products, right? So consultants every single month have an opportunity to earn something, earn free products. Right now, all consultants are earning the holiday products for free, right? So literally, basically being able to say, I will never pay full price for another kitchen item, as long as I do this business consistently, is crazy to me. So if you're someone that, tends to go to some product stores that sell kitchen item, you're always buying the hottest news thing, like you love it anyways, right? So why not get a discount or earn it for free? So yeah, so obviously the extra income, the friendships, the community, and the products, and then also, recognition, right? So nobody ever recognized me for cleaning my son's diaper or cleaning the toilet. So just being able to be recognized, like, hey, yeah, you earned some products, or hey, you earned this thing or that thing, or you made the list in this piece, that's a really cool thing, I think, for a lot of moms to be able to be recognized. Because if I had to guess, in the real world out there, we don't get a lot of recognition. So I love that we get recognized here and we feel seen.
Yes, we recognize you and we are grateful for you. I'm glad you brought up the products. So, we have our product development teams are specifically focused on making products that make mealtime easier. An established brand of 44 years, backed by Berkshire Hathaway since 2002. Um, of the products, that you have earned, which are some of your favorites and why?
That must be the toughest question of all. I think just first of all, the basics, like being able to have good cookware and good knives, making scrambled eggs in the morning and not have the pan sticks to it, right? Being able to use knives and not squish your bread, but actually slice through your bread. So I think like having access to high quality items for basic things is important, because I would have never been able to afford that before Pampered Chef. Something that is used all the time by my teenagers, preteens, the air fryer. I mean, if you can throw it in the air fryer, it's going in the air fryer. Any little frozen meals after school, nuggets, leftovers. So yeah, so just some of the basics. And then, I just love all my garlic tools, my spatulas. I don't know, this is a mile long.
Your kids have not lived until they've had air fryer chicken nuggets. If you're still making chicken nuggets in the microwave, you're
Yeah,
missing out. Your kids are living large with the air fryer.
yeah.
Okay, so last question.
Okay.
You know, we Pampered Chef is a side hustle with heart. There are millions of people in North America with side hustles. And the business can be done digitally, it can be done in person, it can be a mix. There's so many ways to do it. And it's up to our consultants to structure their own time and tools. Claudia, last question of the night. What does flexibility in your business look like in your day to day? And what does that flexibility do for you?
Yeah, flexibility is crazy once you have it and you realize that maybe the average person doesn't. So just tomorrow, I decided to volunteer at my son's school, and I just adjusted some of my things that I do for my business. And I was able to do that. Like, I didn't have to ask anyone for time off or anything like that. All summer long, my kids were home. For my schedule, I worked till noon and then I was off, and we went off and did things. If I wanted to take a day off, I could do that. Really, there's no Pampered Chef emergency, right? Maybe except tonight, if I would have been like, hey, I can't be on. But other than that, normally I could just be like, hey, you know what? I'm just not going to post in this party tonight, or I'm going to post tomorrow, or I'm going to talk to this consultant tomorrow and move it. So really just being able to have the schedule that I want and decide when I want to work and when I don't want to work is probably I guess I should have said that earlier, my top favorite thing.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Claudia. Thank you for sharing your time and talent with us tonight. If any of this is interest to you and you're thinking, hey, maybe I could do this, talk to your consultant to learn more about what it might look like for you to become a consultant as well. And thank you all for joining us tonight. We hope to see you at the same time next week for more food and fun. And there's something extra special next week. Next week for Hunger Action Month, Sandy and Abby are going live at the Northern Illinois Food Bank, honoring Pampered Chef's partnership with Feeding America, and as well as the partnerships with Food Banks Canada. And from that, going live at the food bank, we'll show how to make easy soups and sandwiches that are perfect for fall. And for every registered guest that attends next week, Pampered Chef will be donating a meal to Feeding America, or the monetary equivalent to Food Banks Canada. So you can give back just by registering and attending next week. And that's a way that Pampered Chef is going to increase that donation. So it's going to be a great night. Be sure to register for that next week, Tuesday. And every Tuesday, we do this 7 p.m. Central Time. So thanks again for joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your night. We'll see you later.